Hello gentlemen, my name is Grey Knight and we are go for the finals between Retro VG Music Gamers Alpha Squad versus Prolly Feeders, and on the top team for the Prolly Feeders we have Niddly, Ash, Lux, Shaco and Shen, and for the VG Gamers we have Nunu, Poppy, Zinzao, Gragas and Blitzcrank. And I believe we're about to start. There we go, hit the 100% and we are go, with my camera just flying out of control. Cool Blitzcrank skin with the boxing gloves there, very nice. It's very nice indeed. Clairvoyance from the Prolly Feeders. Yep, Prolly Feeders with the clairvoyance there. From their support, Lux, who's picked up clairvoyance there. So good summon a spell. Use it straight at the start so they could see which direction the VG gamers were moving in. I believe we've got a Niddly tank trap. We've got a Niddly trap right here in the little cut off there. So if Prolly Feeders decide to attack Shaco, who is fundamentally needs to start at red to be really effective, Shaco's not really a jungler that starts at blue. He's not really that mana dependent, and he's more dependent on getting red for the early ganks and extra damage. We've got another trap there. Let's see if they spot it. One trap has already been triggered. You could see with the sort of animation above Zinzao that he's got a trap activated on him, and it's done some decent damage to Zinzao with like 200 HP down. Well, not quite, but around that sort of figure. For some reason Gragas, it's a bit of an AoE, must be a bit of an AoE, the damage, so Gragas is taking a bit of harassment there as well. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Grey Knight and we are here in the finals of the recent 5 vs 5 tournament between Prolly Feeders and Retro VG Music Gamers Alpha Squad, if I've got that in the correct order. Which, out of like 19 attempts now, I'm just gonna go with it. That is got to be their team name. So we have for the Prolly Feeders, we've got Niddly, Ash, Lux, Shaco and Shen, and up running for the Retro VG Gamers we've got Nunu, Poppy, Zinzao, Gragas and Blitzcrank. With Blitzcrank with the cool Blitzcrank skin. Look at that. Tee-hee. Look at that. Cool beans. Bear with me gentlemen while I just slightly change. More options. Scroll speed, I believe it's that one. I'm just going to adjust both of them down just slightly, because I am aware that the camera sort of last time was a bit irritating, so I do apologise. I've got more finite movement now, so I can like sort of follow the Blitzcrank like that without like pressing down and going whoa, going a bit crazy there. So we've got clairvoyance on the Lux and Blitzcrank, so both teams picking up a clairvoyance on there, kind of one on the support champion Lux and one on the sort of like tank. I believe Blitz is going to be the tank for the VG gamers, and Lux I believe he's going to be picking up more of a support role for the Prolly Feeders. So as you can see, we've got some Niddly traps been laid from Niddly, and what they do, basically they do damage. You can see the decent amount of damage onto Zinzao there. I'm not sure if he did hit a Ash volley as well, but a decent fair amount of damage on him, but it reduces his armor and magic resistance by a percentage amount, I believe. Does damage and reveals that champion for about 12 seconds, so very useful early game to prevent ganks, because Shaco, who, you know, you're probably wondering why VG Gamers were so interested in this sort of area here. It's because the red buff here, right here next to the fire, next to the camp, that's where Shaco is going to be starting his jungle. It's a stereotypical place, common place for like high yellow Shaco's to begin their jungle, because they're more dependent on red buff to do that extra damage and to be good for ganks with the slow than they are for the blue buff for the mana regeneration. So Nunu picking up his blue buff. Well, he's not. I mean, he's not picking him up. He's not going to like the golem and like, you know, kind of picking the guy up, because it'd be really heavy, and that'd be, you know, even for Nunu, who is really strong. And yeah. He's grabbed blue buff, which gives him increased mana regeneration and decreased cooldown. Obviously it doesn't give you increased cooldown, that would kind of be counterproductive, which we wouldn't want that. So good jungler Nunu. Down bottom we have Shen, as well as unknown, because kind of can't see in the fog of war. Clairvoyance. Oh, Lux, who is quite low HP. Let's take a look at her HP. 208 HP. That is quite low. Nunu getting some harassment there. He's picked up that Nidalee trap, which has revealed him for 12 seconds. Nidalee traps are quite useful because they I don't know if I've already said that. I think I have. I won't say it again. Right, so as we were saying, Lux down bottom, she's a great harasser, so if she can use her abilities to do lots of AoE. She's got a good snare, and on top of that, her passive is really good for harassment. Like early game, she is like the top champion. She can, her spells kind of give the enemy team this sort of like light orb effect, and if she can auto attack them, land an auto attack onto one of these affected characters with that debuff, it will do extra bonus damage. So a good thing to do is not kind of sort of spam your Q, your stun, and then spam your slow, and then kind of do it that way. What you do is you hit them with the snare, and then hit them with an auto attack, and that will pop that light aura on the face and do the extra bonus damage, and then you hit them with the slow, and then you hit them with another auto attack, and you get maximum damage from Lux, and it really is a lot of damage early game. She kind of does wear thin a little bit later, especially in this dual lane, because she's got to share the experience and share the gold with this Shen as well, so she's not going to be picking up as many creep kills. But they did, in a recent patch note, nerf her. Great initiation from Poppy. Didn't quite manage to get the stun off. For Poppy to land her stun, she needs to hit a character into the wall, and she was just misjudged there on the Poppy stun, Poppy charge. As we were saying, recent patch notes nerfed Lux's ultimate. It doesn't scale off as much ability power now, so I guess Riot felt that she was fulfilling the role of kind of like a semi-carry a little bit too efficiently, and kind of turned her into a bit more of a support role, being less effective. We have First Blood, Blitzcrank pull, Shen pulled onto the tower, taking tower damage, which at this level is absolutely huge, and he just goes down. CC from Nunu is just enormous with the blitz grab and then the knock up, combined with a Poppy stun against the wall. It's just going to be too much for Shen to tank at this sort of level. Clairvoyance going down from VG Gamers. They see the Shaco just mopping up red buff. He's got his red buff, so he's going to be looking to gank pretty soon. Gragas with a lot of HP, so he's not going to be looking to gank mid. Up top we've got Zinzai. He's playing very defensive. He's on his towers. He's not going to be farming as effectively, but he's going to be safe from the Shaco ganks. Down bottom is where you're going to be looking. If we can see a Lux snare, then Poppy's going to be in trouble. Exhaust going down a bit preemptively. I think they need to sort of hook up with Shaco a little bit more. I think Shaco would have been perfect in that situation. Poppy would have definitely not made it back. Good snare from Lux. She's not got enough mana to be able to harass him down any further than that, but any damage is better than no damage. Yeah, Poppy just making it back on sort of like a sliver of HP. But I think Shaco, who is an effective ganker, even at low levels, even like pre-level 6, he's an effective ganker, especially with red buff, and we can tell that he did have red, so he should have popped down here and just kind of sort of deceived in and picked off the enemy team Poppy. I think that was a bit of a miscommunication there from Prolly feeders. I think Shaco should have but a bit more aggressive and gank bottom. In mid we've got Noobish, or iNoobish. He's picking up some, he's level 6 now, Ash, with the 26 creep kills in mid compared to the Gragas 31, so a slight advantage for Gragas there, who is an effective creep killer. He's good at farming, he's very powerful late game. He can get, he's got Santa Gragas, I love it. Awesome sauce, look at that. I'm not sure what Santa's drinking there, that must be some sort of special candy brew. I want some, I really do. Up top we have some magic going down with some Xin Zhao aggression against Prolly Racist. Xin using a health pot, he's picked up an interesting item, he's picked up a null magic mantle. Against Nidalee, I'm not going to say it's not effective, it's not the item I would go for, as Nidalee's damage early on comes from when she hits level 6, she can turn into that cougar form and use her one of her abilities, not pounce, swipe maybe, not swipe, that's the wrong one. Use her Q and that will do damage based off how much HP the enemy has, but basically you'll use it when they're low and it does just massive physical damage, and that's why I would probably get some armor as opposed to the normal magic mantle. We've got some help from Nunu. Xin needs to be careful. Nidalee's low because she chose to heal herself via primal surge. She does have lethal spears which do magic damage, which is probably Xin's main concern at the minute, which is why he's gone for the null magic mantle. But in my opinion, the spear's dodgeable. The sort of Q, her Q, which just does massive damage, isn't, and that's more of a problem. So I would get physical resistance as opposed to the magical resistance. Nunu just sort of holding the lane for Xin, so he can return to base, pick up a few items. He's gone for the longsword, as well as picked up Mercury Treads. So early Mercury Treads for Xin, which again in my opinion is a mistake. Nidalee doesn't have any CC, she doesn't have any slow, any stun whatsoever. Although he needs to be quick to dodge that spear shot. I think Boots level 1 with his flash, let's see if he's got flash, he doesn't have flash, so so if you do need to be quick to be able to dodge that spear, it is important that you do dodge that. Enemy slain bottom. Blitzcrank's gone down. Shen's being super aggressive. He's going to taunt on that. No, he's not got enough energy for the shadow dash, but he's just going to let that build up and sort of harass her with his Q, with his Vorpal Blade of bladeness. Both level 6. Poppy is just a threat at level 6. She has such a great ultimate. Missing mid for the Prolly feeders. Missing Shaker as well. There we go. I knew it was going to be trouble for Poppy. She's in trouble now. She's very low HP. Goes after the Shaker. It's not going to be enough. Runs away on low HP. Shen picking up the last hit with that Vorpal Blade. Wham bam. Thank you, man. Good play. Good linking up with Shaker there, doing lots and lots of damage. Gragas, level 9 now, farming mid, hasn't got boots but picked up a blasting wand. You don't really need boots in mid for Gragas because he has that escape ability where he can sort of like dive away and use that to escape, and you don't really need to be that quick against Ashe because her volley shot, even if you have boots, you're not going to dodge it. It's such a wide sort of AoE. It's very easy to land for a skilled player. So it's, even if you had boots, it's not going to help you. Ultimate from Gragas, but good ultimate from Gragas, knocks him into danger. But the flash sort of saving Ashe's hide there. Blue goes down for Shaco, thanks to the clairvoyance from Blitzcrank. So good awareness from Blitzcrank, sort of helping his team. Nunu's aware. I think he's just popped down a ward. Has he got Wriggles Lantern already? No, he doesn't. He's only level 6, and that would be pro. Blitzcrank sort of chasing this Lux. He's going to get the... There's the pull. There's the stun. Do we see a Poppy stun into the wall? We don't, so... Sort of bad play from Poppy there. I think... Good pull from Blitz. pulled her back, pulled her to this position here. Poppy should have just aligned up slightly north of that so she could slam her into the wall and just sort of chain stun Poppy and do plenty of damage there. So sort of mispositioning from Deathmonger there. And as a result, Lux sort of escapes. So we're going to see Xin in trouble now. Exhaust going down. I think he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to overstep the mark. Things can change very quickly with Nidalee. She can heal, she can land a spear shot, and like I say, she jumps in, and if she hits you with that Q, it hits like a truck. There we see the powerful heal. She's over 50% HP, flying around the 6-bit. Wow, another heal, massive HP going down. There she goes, she jumps in, she definitely got the advantage now. He really needs to escape. That Q is going to hit him like a truck. Good spear, good dodge, excellent dodge. That's why he picked up the Mercury Tread, so he can dodge that spear. But like I say, he dodged the spear, but the Q did such massive damage. Big laner, Nidalee, great 1v1. Good stuff from Xin, dodging that spear, good stuff. Shaco down bottom is going to be jumping on this Blitzcrank. He's been absolutely abandoned by Poppy, who picks up the Lux kill. Great stuff from Poppy, sort of knowing the extent of her power there and picking up that kill against Lux. Unfortunate for Lux. Quite strange, sort of has a snare and a slow, so it's quite strange that she could be sort of tower dive there. Shen, I'm not sure if he's got his ultimate up. I'm not seeing an ultimate from Shen. We're going to see his Shadow Dash here though. I think he tried to use the Shadow Dash to escape and does so through that jungle. Flash from Gragas. Oh, Shaco's just going to pick up this kill. Nice and easy kill for Shaco. Level 8 taking down a level 9 Gragas. Poppy needs to be careful. There goes the slow from Shaco. He runs away on low HP. Ultimate from Blitzcrank, but it's not going to be enough. Goes down to a combined effort. Shen getting the Shadow Dash, and that's all she wrote for Blitzcrank. The Iron Man. Better luck next time, Blitzy. Yeah, sort of looking around the forums and this replay, which is the finals of the recent 5 vs 5 tournament. Not really that many views, so guys, get searching on that. It's a good game. It's a really good game, so get searching on that the forums, and I will link it in the original post of this Sharkcast. Get downloading it, have a watch, see what you think, learn some stuff, some tips and tricks from these guys. Shaco failing to deceive out of that trap there and getting taken down. Good stuff from Poppy, and hitting him into the wall, making sure he's not running anywhere. In terms of Poppy's feed, in terms of Poppy's farm, she's got 48 creep kills now, as well as 2 kills as well, which will really help Poppy. She's a pretty item dependent hero, and she's a great anti-carry. She'll be taking down Ashe later on and Lux, maybe Nidalee, but Nidalee's got such great escape. It will go pretty much Ashe, Lux, then Nidalee on her priority list, on Poppy's hit list. Well, it should be really at this ELO. I won't be surprised if it is. In middle, we've got Ashe level 10 now. Let's have a quick look at her creep kills. Xin Zhao with the highest creep kills, 101. Just fantastic to see. Some great farming from Xin Zhao, allowing him to pick up a Brutalizer and a Sapphire Crystal, so a bit of HP and a bit of damage. Great cooldown reduction, as well as armor penetration from the Brutalizer. It's a really good early game item to get, and he's got a bit of tankiness as well. He's not going all DPS. He's picked up a Ruby Crystal. I apologise, I said Sapphire Crystal, but that's the mana one, that's the blue one. It's a Ruby Crystal, hence red for the Ruby. And he's got a bit of HP, 180 HP. Good clairvoyance. It's not going to be enough. Shaco has protection from Nidalee, forced to escape there. Uses Ghost, but slow applied from Shaco. Doesn't have his Deceive to chase, so escapes barely there. Risky place to sort of port back. The enemy team does have an Ashe, and they do have a Clairvoyant, so if they popped a Clairvoyance there, Ashe could have ulted and taken him down. As well as Nidalee as well with her Javelin. That does travel a fair distance. Nunu sort of picking up blue. Great stuff from Nunu there, stealing the blue from Prolly feeders. Good stuff from VG Gamers. 4 kills to 4. It's been a close game at the 17-minute, 15-minute fail. The 17-minute, 20-second mark. Yes, because time goes in minutes and seconds, and not minutes and minutes, because that'd be confusing. Up top, we got Nunu. He's got the blue buff now, so he's going to be picking up plenty of. In the middle, we have some action. Poppy's, oh, great flash. Poppy getting in there with the stun, but it's not enough. Flash, allowing Ashe to sort of mini deceive her way out of that. We've got trouble for Nidalee. She's got no tower to run to. Slow applied from Nunu. It's not going to be enough. I think they sort of didn't exploit their advantage there. You've got a slow from Nunu, powerful slow from Nunu, powerful slow from Xin. So I think they could have really done at least more damage to Nidalee there, if not got the kill. For Nunu, we've picked up a Heart of Gold, so decent first item for him. Gank coming on nowhere because Shen's turned back. Good pickup. Surprised Shen wasn't banned. Surprised Shen wasn't banned. Shen has gone for a Heart of Gold as well. He's picked up a couple of wards, so it might be a wise decision to either pick up a purple ward or Oracle's Elixir to kind of be aware of where Shen is popping down his wards. Clairvoyant is going down. I think it was a little bit too late to see where that ward went down. Nidalee is very useful with her traps, which if she spots where you place your ward, she can pop down a trap under that and it will reveal the ward for a certain amount of time. So you can destroy a ward free of charge if you see where the enemy team placed it. Shaco placing down a Jack in the Box. It's not going to do him much good because he has been spotted. We're going to see a blitz pull. No, Shaco. Good awareness skills there. Noticing that he's been spotted and escapes. We've got a stun from Ashe. Good initiation there. Blitz is in trouble. Poppy needs to do something. Fails to do so, and Blitz goes down like a rocket. Blitz does have flash, but it must have been on cooldown there. Poppy sort of, she's got her ultimate, so she could have ulted in there, done some harassment and sort of flashed out it if she had a flash or ghost, and sort of helped Blitz out there a little bit, but chose that was the too risky option and didn't want to sort of, I mean it's a high risk option really, and they could have got a double kill which would have been much worse, especially on Poppy who's got decent farm and decent, you know, like I say, item dependent hero. You don't really want her being taken down. Lux, ultimate on Lux, who's in trouble. 7 seconds Poppy's ultimate lasts. It's going to be just enough time. Takes down Lux. We've got the Prolly feed is reacting now, but it might be too little too late with Poppy making her swift escape. Xin doing some harassment on Ashe so she can't cut her off. Fantastic stuff there. Poppy needs a low HP now, needs to sort of retreat. Blitz has been spotted, she stood on a trap. Nidalee's around this brush, but does not have field of vision of the Poppy, so she will not be pursuing her. Plenty of support from the VG Gamers. Aggressive Blitzcrank, he's going to turn around, maybe get a pull on someone. Maybe. Don't know, question mark. 5 kills to 5, incredibly close game. This is great to see. Do we see a dragon from the VG Gamers? Retro VG Music Gamers Alpha Squad picking up that dragon kill, I believe. Yes, they did, because I seen the +5 gold on a Moo there, so he's obviously got the Smite Mastery, which reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds, and you get 5 extra gold as well, which is always useful. You can never have enough gold. do. So sort of the heat is on for Prolly feeders, who are definitely not feeding, by the way. They are playing very well. We've got Lux 0 and 3. Bad pick in my opinion. I've sort of gone off Lux. I thought she was an okay for sort of my sort of yellow, not really a good pick for high yellow. And now she's received that nerf as well, which is really the icing off on the cake. Is sort of the final nail in that coffin for Lux. Really not a great pick at all. In my opinion, you're better off with Janna, who is just an infinitely superior support character, as opposed to Lux. Her shield sort of feels like an afterthought compared to she does such decent harassing damage that you really want to be spending. You feel like you need to spend that mana in like harassment and getting creep kills and things like that, and that's not really what a support should be doing. They should be supporting the carry and not getting creep kills, because if you get the creep kills, you're denying your carry who you're laning with, which is not really the role that a support should be doing. Some good harassment going down on Nidalee. Throws a javelin, sort of in desperation there, didn't really hit anything. Probably aiming for Gragas, because he did step on a trap, so she did have sight on Gragas. Nidalee's javelin does damage based on how far Nidalee is away from her target, so she basically picked the target furthest away from her there and just sort of blindly threw the javelin just to hit. I mean, sometimes you do hit, and when you do hit a far away target, the damage on that thing is absolutely crazy. When you're playing Nidalee, a trick what you want to do is you basically want to throw the spear and move backwards, because the damage on that spear is not how far the spear has travelled. It's basically when the spear hits how far Nidalee is away from my target. So you need to throw the spear and then move back and increase the distance between you and your target, and when that hits, it will hit like a rocket. Seriously, the amount of damage on that thing is impressive early game, and if you go in AP Nidalee, it will constantly have that massive big bang effect. Good ward from the VG gamers. Just watching and observing Nidalee pick up that the creeps there in the jungle. She was in a very dangerous position because of the Blitzcrank. There's always that element of danger when you think you're safe, even on a tower. Good ultimate from Ashe, stunning the Nunu, who is taking turret 5 for 3.5 seconds. It's not going to be enough damage. Really needed to supplement that turret damage with a bit of harassment. Failed to do so. Could have seen an ultimate from Lux. We see it now, but hits Xin. I'm not sure what that was about. It's on a low cooldown, so I'm not going to slate her too much for it, but she could have probably hit that Nunu who was taking tower damage, and at least forced him to sort of use a flash or a ghost to sort of panic. And good pull from Ashe. Again uses flash to, in a sort of defensive manner, to get away. Not enough though. He gets taken down from like an ultimate from Blitzcrank and sort of damage from Poppy, who's going to aim for the Triforce. Picked up a Sheen and Zeal, so all she's got left is the Phage, and then she's going to pick up that Triforce and just do massive damage with her devastating blow. We've got Shaco, who's sort of like, not backdooring, I shouldn't say backdooring, he's sort of like pushing the bottom lane, because I mean creeps are there, so it's not really backdooring. You could argue that creeps are always with Shaco because his ultimate's sort of a creep, so technically Shaco never backdoors, but I don't. Sort of like Rampage for VG Gamers, who went down there, and we've got Nidalee and Lux down. Lux down again, 0 and 4, not having a terrific game. Ally has been slain. Sorry guys, Gragas getting picked up from Shaco. Sort of surprised because there were so many VG good stuff from Shaco picking up that kill. Crips pulling the B maneuver in the brush. I apologise for missing that kill, guys. I really do. Randomin's Omen picked up on the Nunu. So much action. It's all kicking off, and this is what we like to see. A good finals. With the VG gamers starting to pick up that advantage. She's got a very tanky team. With sort of like 4 tanky champions in front of 5 tanky champions actually. Gragas back at home base. A tanky team for VG gamers. And a very squishy game for the complete opposite. A very squishy game for a very squishy team for the Prolly feeders. Nidalee not turbo squishy, if that's even a phrase. Not very squishy, but you know, she's not tanky at all by any sort of stretch of the imagination. Ash, Shaco and Lux, very squishy champions. Shen basically being the only person to be able to tank a reasonable amount of damage and initiate for that team. That is clearly the fake clone Shaco, so they really don't want to be stood near that when it goes off. It'd be funny if it was the real one. He's just trolling the actual real Shaco and he's just kind of stood there on low HP and then sort of like deceives out. That'd be quite hilarious. Shen pushing mid. He's about to be in a lot of trouble. That looked like an ultimate from Gragas there. I believe it was. I believe Shen sort of like ricocheted into the wall, so he didn't look like he travelled very far. Ignite down on Shen. Gragas needs support to take down. He's in trouble. Shen's going to get away if VG do not respond to this. Ghost from Poppy. That's all that's going to be needed. Good shadow dash from Shen. Very defensive. He's in trouble. If he's got his ult up, he needs to use it in a sort of like evasive manner. Unstoppable. Says Poppy. Gonna pick up that farm top. Poppy really does sort of snowball. She's a snowball champion. She is 6-on-1. She's going to absolutely annihilate the enemy team. She's picked up the Triforce. Like I say, that devastating blow is going to live up to its name and just be truly devastating. She's really going to be causing problems. She's sort of spoiled for choice on who to chase in Prolly feeders. Poppy really wants to kind of sort of be an anti-carry and chase down squishy champions, and she really is spoiled for choice. She can go after Lux, Ash. Oh! Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Narrowly missing the Blitzcrank. Ultimate going down on Ash. She needs to turn around and do a bit more focused damage. Did apply the slow on Nunu. Again applies the slow. Nunu's in trouble. Are we going to see a Vorpal Blade? It's not going to be enough. No! Poppy. Ah, Poppy. Good slow. Ash using Flash in an aggressive manner to apply that snow from to apply the slow from Frost Shot. There's too many S's in this game. Good flash from the Ash. Picked up a black cleaver, so a good item to have on Ash if she's sort of getting shut down early on, which she's 0-1, so I wouldn't say shut down, but not doing terribly well. Then ironically a more defensive item is to pick up the black cleaver, because you can sort of sit in the back and get some auto attacks out, and you'll be reducing their armor, so you can allow someone else to do more damage. And it's sort of that passive, I'll sort of get 3 auto attacks off and get that armor reduction, and you know, it's all up to you now. Someone else can jump in and take over and do lots of damage, like Shaco is doing really well, 4-on-1. So I can see where Ash is coming from that first build order, as opposed to if you started really well with Ash, then Infinity Edge all the way, because you're the one that's going to be doing the most damage. And I like the choice. I like the thinking on Prolly feeders there. Good pick up, good first item from Ash. 6-2 for Poppy. So let's have a look what Poppy builds has for her second item. Shrelia's Revelry, and Poppy needs to be really quick, and she's picked up Sorcerer's Boots, so she's got that sort of loss of movement speed compared to if she got Boots of Swiftness. She's got Sorcerer's Boots because her Devastating Blow does magic damage, and that 20 magic penetration you really can tell whether or not you've got it or not. But like I say, you sacrifice your speed for those boots, which is really important for Poppy. We see initiation down, straight onto the Ash, goes straight down with that devastating blow. Good pull from Blitz. Slow going down from Lux. Ultimate from Gragas, just loads of damage to Shaco, who's picked up a Guardian Angel, so he's just going to not really be too concerned. Again, the slow from Lux, but it's just not enough damage. We see turret damage. The turret may make a difference here and really cause trouble for VG Gamers. Nunu's very low, has to back. Nidalee going to be a threat. When she turns into Cougar form and she hits someone with her Q, it's just going to be so much damage. She plays it really defensive there, extremely defensive, to the point where that was a mistake. She really should have chased. Shen's in trouble now as a result. Missed Javelin from Nidalee. She's sort of farming at the minute. Really needed to hit that Javelin, heal Shen and sort of dive in Cougar form, and that would force either Poppy to run off or Blitz to run off because they were both low, as opposed to sort of like turning around and like doing the stun and doing damage. They would have been forced to run, so Shen wouldn't have been hit with so much force there. So it's easy to say in hindsight, as the game's kind of sort of ticking and everything happens really quickly. It's a lot harder, but I think that was a slight mistake. A little bit more aggression on Nidalee, who again is 0 on 1, so I can see why she's playing defensive. She picked up AP items, so she's there for the heals and to land that Javelin. That's where a lot of her damage comes from, and as you kind of say, you stay at range to do that damage, so she wants to kind of sort of avoid diving in and risk getting getting killed. But with great risk comes great reward, and at this point Prolly feeders really need to sort of change their strategy a little bit and start getting a bit more aggressive and taking these risks. Otherwise Poppy is just going to snowball into oblivion. Pickaxe picked up from Poppy. Infinity Edge? Question mark? Possibly. I don't agree with the Cerelia's Revelry. I don't like the item. The movement speed's good, so it's useful. It's not a bad item on Poppy, but I'd rather go with the slow from Random Omen than speed up from Cerelia's Revelry, because the armour will make him more tanky, as opposed to being a little bit more quick, because she has an ability that allows her to increase her movement speed anyway, so sort of like that ability combined with the slow would have been really powerful. I'm not disagreeing with the Cerelia's Revelry, but it's not what I build personally. I think an Abyssal Scepter is an absolutely fantastic item to go. Boots of Swiftness just for that speed, and Abyssal Scepter for the magic resistance and ability power, and the armor penetration when you get close. Because Poppy's always going to be close to her enemies, it's very useful to Abyssal Scepter, because you're always going to get the passive from it, the unique passive. Very good item for Poppy. Not too early on because she's not got a lot of HP, but at this point she's kind of fed. So turret going down in the favour of the VG Gamers, so good stuff there. Blitzcrank has picked up a Banshees, which again is a good all-around item. It's going to stop him from getting either a taunt from Shen or a Javelin in the face from Nidalee, or even a snare from Lux. Like I said earlier on, Lux sort of fades into the background mid to late game, which is why I think she's sort of bad pick. She's good early on, she is good early on, I'm not disputing that. And you could argue you need to have a good late game, you really need a good early game, but you know, I do agree with that philosophy, but I think She sort of she loses her. Gragas goes down to a multi-team effort, being really sort of overextending there. Blitz sort of trying to save the day. He's got an Oracles, really doesn't want to get taken out here. Goes massive damage, 5-on-1 there. Loses his Oracles elixir. That's 400 gold if he wants to buy another one. So big loss for the VG gamers. Very dangerous play from Gragas. Sort of overextending himself. You need to be really careful with Ashe on the enemy team, because she can always land that enchanted crystal arrow if she knows what she's doing, and I'm pretty sure that Inubish knows what he's doing and can land that stun. We've got a few pings on Baron, and they sort of see VG gamers coming, who is doing just enough to sort of harass them on Baron. Goes straight for the Nidalee. Nidalee flash, uses heal on herself. Does she escape? She needs to go in Cougar form, and sort of that's what she was trying to do. Great anti-carry tactics from Poppy there. Going in, taking out the Nidalee. Great stuff. It's 3 versus 4 at the minute, so it's very dangerous. Lux is out of mana. She's not going to be doing much. Gets taken down from Poppy. Good devastating blow there. Ashe goes down to a combined effort of Nunu. Action. Shaco has Oracle's elixir. He's also got Guardian Angel, so he's not dead. He's going to escape there. He's going to keep his elixir of Oracle's elixir there. Shen is in trouble, needs more support. Shaco's not going to want to go in on this. There's too much damage going out. Poppy's going to want to hang around for that XP. Shen knows that she's near and wants to pick up that kill before dying. Blitz using his movement speed. He's going to get the pull. Attempted juke, but it's really in a tight spot. Poppy picking up that kill with a devastating blow. Good play from Shen. Aware that Poppy was low, and sort of a key strike plus Vorpal Blade and the taunt may have been enough to sort of take her down. May have been enough. So good kind of awareness from Shen. Sort of really needed his team to sort of like to support him a little bit more there. Sort of caught between a rock, caught between a Nunu and a hard place, and that's not where you want to be. Plenty of farm here for Xin. He's going to be happy as a pig in mud with all this gold sort of going into his treasury. He's picked up a frozen mallet and a black cleaver, so as well as a ghost blade as well. So tanky yet DPS items for him, which is exactly what you want on Xin. Sort of that action has subsided. My voice has finally been given a rest. Poppy with both buffs, both red and blue, so I suppose it's technically a purple buff if you want to look at it that way. Looking cool, good skin. Nexus Poppy. No, it is Noxus, I believe. Whoa, that was weird. She looks as if she was going through the literally the jungle there. That was crazy. Hacks. In mid we have Shaco. He's still got that Oracle's magical sight from Oracle's elixir there. So, you know, really worth it purchase by him. If you can keep that for a long time, it really is beneficial to your whole team to be able to spot enemy wards and take them down. Multiple traps going off there. Yeah, it is AoE. Those traps are AoE. Look, 2 targets there, although there was multiple traps going off. I believe it's AoE. I think you can hit more than one person with your trap. So I think I have hit minions and champions with 1 trap. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I believe you can. Nidalee, very powerful 1v1 champion. Alpha Squad picking up the blue buff. I'm not sort of sure what name to settle on for these guys. They've got so many to choose from. 5 versus 5 action. Ash goes straight down. Good job from VG Gamers taking out the carry straight away. Shaco is in trouble. Poppy doing her anti-carry role, taking down the Shaco as well. Good stuff there. Nidalee in trouble as well. Uses flash and the pounce, but it's too many slows there. Goes straight down. Good ultimate from Blitzcrank, just doing massive damage. GG's coming out from Shen. I think he's absolutely right. There's little to next to nothing that Lux can do. Sort of really lost her snap, fizzle and pop in this game. And as a result, there we go. Good game, fellas. Good finals. This was game 2 of the finals, by the way, guys. If you want to visit game 1, then download it on the forums. Get downloading. Your feedback is much appreciated. So see you later, guys. Good to have you with me. See ya.